Ladies and gentlemen, gather around and prepare for a spine-chilling story that will keep you on the edge of your seat. We're going to explore the dark and eerie secrets of the Stanley Hotel, a place where luxury meets the supernatural. This is the tale of the curse that haunts its halls. Our story begins in 1909, when Freeland Oscar Stanley, a wealthy inventor, and his wife Flora opened the Stanley Hotel in the beautiful town of Estes Park, Colorado. They had no idea that their dream of creating a peaceful mountain retreat would turn into a nightmare. From the very start, strange things began to happen. Guests heard mysterious piano music late at night, objects moved on their own, and eerie voices echoed through the hallways. One of the earliest and most terrifying stories comes from room 217. In 1911, a chambermaid named Elizabeth Wilson was lighting the acetylene lanterns in the room when a gas leak caused a massive explosion. Miraculously, Elizabeth survived, but was badly injured. She recovered. But ever since that night, room 217 has been the center of paranormal activity. Guests who stay in room 217 often report seeing the ghost of a woman, believed to be Elizabeth, tidying up the room. Some have even felt a cold presence in the bed, as if someone invisible is lying next to them. Lights flicker on and off, and suitcases are mysteriously unpacked. Even Stephen King had a creepy experience during his stay in the room, which inspired him to write his famous novel, The Shining. But the curse of the Stanley Hotel goes beyond room 217. In the early 1920s, a young girl named Lucy went missing in the hotel. She was last seen playing in the concert hall basement, a place she loved to explore. Despite an extensive search, Lucy was never found, and her disappearance remains a mystery to this day. Visitors and staff have reported seeing Lucy's ghost in the concert hall, her giggles echoing through the empty space. Some have even heard her calling out for help, her voice filled with fear and confusion. The basement where she vanished is said to be the most haunted part of the hotel, with cold spots, strange noises, and the feeling of being watched. Another chilling tale involves Lord Dunraven, the previous owner of the land on which the Stanley Hotel was built. Lord Dunraven was a notorious figure, known for his illicit activities and shady dealings. It is said that his spirit still lingers in the hotel, particularly in room 401. Guests who stay in this room often report feeling a malevolent presence, as if someone is watching them with malicious intent. Drawers open and close on their own, and a ghostly figure has been seen standing at the foot of the bed, glaring at anyone who dares to enter. But the most terrifying aspect of the Stanley Hotel's curse is the phenomenon known as the ghostly gathering. Every year, on the anniversary of the hotel's opening, guests and staff have reported a spectral gathering in the ballroom. They describe seeing ghostly figures dressed in early 20th century attire, dancing to the haunting melodies of a phantom orchestra. The air becomes thick with an otherworldly chill, and the sound of laughter and clinking glasses fills the room. But as the clock strikes midnight, the apparitions vanish, leaving the ballroom empty and silent once more. One particularly harrowing account comes from a former employee named Jack, who worked as a night security guard. Jack was a skeptic, dismissing the tales of hauntings as mere superstition, that is, until one fateful night. Jack was doing his rounds when he heard the faint sound of music coming from the ballroom. Curious, he made his way there, expecting to find a forgotten radio or a prank by some mischievous guests. But what he saw chilled him to the bone. The ballroom was filled with ghostly figures, dancing gracefully to the music of an invisible orchestra. Jack stood frozen in the doorway, unable to believe his eyes. He tried to call out, but his voice was stuck in his throat. As he watched, the dancers began to notice him. Their faces were pale and gaunt, their eyes hollow and empty. One of the apparitions, a tall man with a handlebar mustache and a top hat, stepped forward and extended his hand. Jack could feel a cold, unnatural chill emanating from the figure. With every ounce of strength, he forced himself to move, turning and running as fast as he could, He never looked back, but he could hear the faint laughter and music following him down the hall. Jack quit his job the next day, vowing never to return to the Stanley Hotel. But the curse of the Stanley Hotel is not limited to ghostly apparitions and eerie sounds. Some believe that the land itself is cursed, harboring a dark energy that affects all who come into contact with it. There have been reports of guests experiencing sudden bouts of nausea, dizziness, and even hallucinations. Some have felt an overwhelming sense of dread, as if an unseen force is watching them, waiting for the right moment to strike. Despite these terrifying tales, the Stanley Hotel continues to attract visitors from all over the world. Some come seeking a glimpse of the supernatural, while others are drawn by the hotel's stunning beauty and rich history. But whether they come as skeptics or believers, few leave without experiencing something strange and unexplainable. So, dear listeners, if you ever find yourself in the Rocky Mountains, consider paying a visit to the Stanley Hotel. But be warned, the curse of the Stanley Hotel is real, and those who dare to enter its haunted halls may never be the same. Thank you for joining me on this chilling journey into the heart of one of America's most haunted hotels. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more tales that will keep you up at night. Until next time, stay safe, and remember, sometimes the most beautiful places hide the darkest secrets.